Hello, my name is Trevor Seaman, and I am the author of To Dance with the Sky. The story takes place in the world of Osmonday, a world built on the backs of the poor and ruled by kings and queens who wield power not earned but inherited. In Osmonday, nobles possess terrifying magical abilities passed down through bloodlines. The stronger the lineage, the more devastating the power. These gifts allow the noble class to wage war, crush rebellions, and dominate the world. Common folk have little control over their own lives. The only influence they can wield lies in the power of the churches and the choices they make day to day. The most widespread faith is the Church of the Truth, dominated across the continent of Gildros. In the north, the gods of winter are revered by the people of Freud, Azura, and the Wildlands. The east sees the rise of mystical sects like the Vale of Valnera, while the south is home to stranger faith, such as the Communion of Self, and most notably, the Resilite Church, a secretive and dangerous cult spreading its influence throughout the continent of Zoran. A secretive and dangerous cult spreading its influence throughout the continent of Zoran. Outside of the churches, nobles rule unchallenged through the magic inherited from generations past. The only other known source of magic lies with the feared and forbidden blood mages, with power through sacrifice and death. Their magic is considered monstrous, but in desperate times it may be the only magic that matters. Though the world appears to be at peace, tensions brew beneath the surface. In the frozen north of Freud, families gather strength after the collapse of the failed revolution led by the infamous Lord in Grey, a man who could wield magic and reduce his enemies to ash. Though he was slain by the crown's champion, unrest remains. The country teeters on the edge of civil war. To the west, in the region known as the Cascades, young river kingdoms that recently won independence from Silvera now look to grow stronger. A new generation, bold and ambitious, threaten the fragile peace that holds the borders together. War feels inevitable. In the east, famine and plague spread across the land, shaking the foundations of already crumbling kingdoms. Uprisings are met with brutal force as nobles crack down on dissent. And in the far south, where pirates and bandits rule beneath the banners of weak kings, the Resilite Church rises unchecked, drawing power and influence that even the crown struggles to contain. Amidst it all, we follow the stories of 5 individuals, each with their own hopes, battles, and burdens. We begin in Oakwright, capital of the Cascades, with May, a young noblewoman born to a newly risen house. Though her family holds political influence, they lack one vital thing: a bloodline ability. Without magic, her house's future is uncertain. May has been sent to court to secure a marriage, one that might awaken magic in her descendants and secure her family's legacy. Ambitious, intelligent, and determined, May is unaware of how dangerous the game she's playing truly is. As trouble begins to stir in Oakwright, she finds herself entangled in webs of betrayal, shifting loyalties, and hidden agendas. The climb to power is steep, but May has no intention of staying at the bottom. Also in Oakwright, Raymond, a man born a slave, raised in the service of House Lundmeyer, he plans to serve Prince Nicholas, the king's younger brother and heir to the throne. Raymond is a soldier, trained, disciplined, and sharp. Beneath his calm exterior lies a burning desire for freedom, a life where he owns his name, his choices, and his destiny. But Prince Nicholas is unlike the others. He treats Raymond with kindness, speaks to him as an equal, and offers glimpses of a better world. Torn between loyalty to a man he admires and the dream of liberation, Raymond stands at a crossroads. His next choice could shape the future of the kingdom or destroy everything he's ever hoped for. Far to the north, in the icy wilds of Freud, we follow Coda, a young squire traveling with his uncle Atka, the legendary Polar Knight. Atka is a hardened hero, feared and honored for slaying the Lord in Grey and ending the rebellion. Coda idolizes him, dreaming of honor, glory, and stories worthy of song. But as the two journey throughout the frozen north, hunting monsters and snuffing out threats to the realm, Coda begins to learn the truth behind the legends. Heroism, he discovers, isn't about grand speeches or shining armor, it's about choices, hard ones, and living with the weight they leave behind. Beyond the northern mountains lie the wildlands, a place of ancient traditions and untamed power. Here we meet Timera, a red-haired blood mage and giver of her clan. She bears the burden of leadership and wields magic born from pain and sacrifice. People are tied to a sacred land, a land now threatened by a rival clan, determined to erase them. As conflict brews, Timera must rally her people and draw on the strength of her ancestors. To survive, she must become more than a leader. She must become a legend worthy of the blood she sheds and the people she protects. And in the deep south of Zaran, we follow Conan, a hunted outlaw and rebel, a member of the Dustcloak Creed. Conan is a thorn in the side of tyrants and a fierce enemy to the Reslite Church. He lives on the run, striking from the shadows, stealing from the rich, and challenging those who would use faith to chain the world. But the noose tightens. Enemies grow bolder and allies grow scarce. As the church's influence spreads and kingdoms turn a blind eye, Conan must decide whether to fight to the bitter end or surrender to the powers he once defied. These 5 lives are woven together against a world on the brink. Old powers rise, ancient secrets stir, and throughout it all we learn what it truly means to dance